So having decided that, customizing material is the best way, and there are reasons that we have already discussed. One of the reasons is on your screens also, that, why do we need to customize material for ESP? It is because, the standard published textbooks, they fall short, and there's a necessity to map out the custom material designs. Okay, so whichever textbook you take for teaching ESP, it might not match your objectives and goals for that particular group of people, students or professional, whether it's EOP or EAP. So that's the most important reason, or one of the most important reasons that you should go for customized material. Okay, so in today's class, we're not going to do the reasons. We are done with the reasons why customized material is the preferred material for ESP. Today we are going to look at, the steps actually, right? Now, the gaps we have already done the reason, okay? It is existing books may possess flaws, okay? And these books often lack commercially viable market for the textbooks, right? So either you don't have the material at all in the market for your class, or if you have the material, it has flaws or it has shortcomings, and uh, you know um, you're not happy with the already existing material, and you're not even think that even if you make certain changes by adapting this material, um, it would be of any help to you. Okay, or it would meet 100% of the objectives, right? So that's the reason that we would go for the customized material, and these are some of the steps. Okay, so there are 5 steps. What you're going to do is, you cannot just customize any material, or you cannot develop material from scratch, from new. Okay, so the first step is, of course, you have to review whatever material is present with you. Okay, and which material, the material that ESP teachers had been using before you for the same group of people, or for the same professionals, or for the same students. Of course, the material is always there. It is not that you have to actually invent. You don't invent. Okay, you kind of create, but uh, it's not from scratch. You're not creating something very, very new, right? So you'll be analyzing the previous material. If there are some research, there are exercise books and other books related to whatever material is there in the form of books or exercises or textbooks or exercise books or activity books. Just review all of that. Then you're going to map your own plan, uh, seeing the objectives, okay? Because you are already done with the objectives. So you have the objectives and the goals in front of you, so you'll make the general plan, right?
Are you
Now,
teaching the 6th chapter?
I'm teaching the last portion of the 6th chapter, okay? The exact topic from your book is creating custom material. It is on page 106 of your book. Thanks for asking. I did not know that you don't even know what we are doing today. We are continuing from where we left, actually, before the midterms, I guess. Okay. I hope everyone is there and everyone knows what we are doing. Guys, are we on the same page? Is everyone following what we are doing? I have actually started it from page number 106 of your book, and that's the last topic that we are covering, creating custom material. Is everyone there and everyone on the same page? Give
Yes,
me,
ma'am.
okay, because I just got worried. You guys don't even know what we are up to. Okay, so let's continue. So this is your second step. We are going to do the certain detail also. Then you're going to select the career content. Here we are going to talk about the authentic material and the sources of the authentic material from where you can get the authentic material. Um, we already discussed what authentic material is and what the other kinds of materials are. Okay, and then you make a rough draft. You scaffold the exercises. Folding means, uh, temporary, giving foundations to something. Okay, till you make a final plan. That's just a step in between. And then finally, you evaluate everything that you have collected, and you start working with the authentic material also. Then you revise it, and then you pilot with the classes and analyze feedback. Piloting the material is testing the material, whether it would really work, okay, in the first few classes. If it is working, if it is up to the level of the students, if it is helping you meet the objectives, then you would carry it on, and then you start again. Piloting the material means just experimenting it in the class. Okay. So there are some details of, um, whatever steps we have done. So you review the existing models, right? And I told you, you never start empty-handed. Um, you look at the already existing material, compile the exercises that really worked well with the previous students. Then you can talk to the teachers or the instructors also. Uh, you can look at the research uh, in the journals, and you can talk to the online communities. You know, uh, Actually, ESP is a very practical subject. This what we are doing today is just the theory, but this is quite extensive when it comes to doing ESP. Okay, but just for theoretical purposes, this is what you are going to do. Then you design the blueprint. You develop a clear sequence of exercises or of contents based on your learning goals, right? Then you talk about or you consider the target skills and all kind of analysis that we have already done. We are not repeating it here. Register analysis, rhetorical, discourse analysis, and metacognitive skills, right? All of this we have already done in our previous classes, so we are not repeating it here. So basically, you're looking at the previous material and you're doing all kinds of analysis. Okay. Now, coming to the authentic material. Now, why do we use what is authentic material? Authentic material are the genuine samples from the real world or the real place conversations, interactions. Okay. So this is that is the authentic material. And inauthentic material are any kind of material that we use in grammar classrooms, scattered sentences, maybe some fictional paragraphs. Those are not the authentic material. So when you are creating the customized material, it is very important that you make use of the authentic material where the sources are genuine um, samples from real workplace interactions. or partner with specialist informants to guarantee true community context. Okay, so you work with real context, real people, and the real. Now, what you do is, if your material is complex, if it is complicated, your students get demotivated. So, it is highly recommended that you simplify the inputs, okay, and then you develop the course, right? Then, of course, we are teaching English, so you need to design the tasks also, exercises. You can find the exercise in the previous material, but you also um, need to develop these exercises. Now, the exercises should have interactive variety, okay, and they should have restricted language in the sense that, um, vocabulary should be appropriate, users appropriate, goal appropriate, okay, and then you should have, you should be balancing the input, output, your language focus, fluency exercises. That really depends, whatever is your requirement of ESP, okay. And then how would you deliver all of the material? Now, student piloting, I have already told you what is student piloting. You conduct pilot lessons in active classrooms. That is, you experiment whatever you have developed once before finally implementing it in the class. Okay, so you pilot study it. You can do it with the students also, with your own students or with some other similar students, but piloting is experimenting before actually doing something in the class. Okay, this is testing your material. This is testing what you have developed or what you have customized actually. Okay, then teachers collaboration. You administer peer pilot with other core course instructors. Okay, so you are doing piloting twice, once with the students, once with your peer. Peer means your co-instructors may be working in the same institutions or working in the field of ESP. So you do it through here, you experiment your material inside the classrooms, and here you actually take teachers' feedback or peer feedback through, it can be interviews also, it can be surveys also, uh, all of that, right? This is one of the steps. So basically, these are the steps that you should be taking whenever you are developing customized material. Now, when you have time, you can go through all these 5 steps. But when you do not have time, you have to create the material very, very quickly because the demand of the class is such. Maybe they're there for the short course or they have to immediately join back to their jobs. So just in time creation, you reduce the steps here. Okay. So um, what do you do in this rapid delivery is you collect the data previously, uh, looking at the previous material, you analyze it and you present it. Okay. So doing it very, very quickly. You do not go through several analysis and you do not pilot study it. You only do the important things. Collect the data, looking at pre-existing folders or files or whatever material is there. And then you analyze it for its linguistic patterns and then you present. As simple as that. Okay. Now, data-driven learning, we have already talked about some of the softwares, right? Through which uh, through which you can analyze your data. You can analyze your collected data. You can analyze your collected sample of the authentic material. Okay. So we talked about some of the softwares that they data-driven learning. teacher's role from instructor to research organizers. When you are analyzing it, you need some of the softwares. We are not going into details, okay? Now, how do you check the authenticity level and what happens when your authenticity is weak? What would be the result? Okay. When your authentic material is pseudo or semi, and when the authentic material is strong. Okay. We are going to look at these as well. Now, when your material is weak, then what is your source? Non-specialist ESP teachers can be your source. Okay. Now, one thing I want to make it clear that material would be authentic, but it would have some levels of authenticity. It can be weak, it can be uh, semi-weak, or it can be semi-authentic, not semi-weak, semi-authentic. It is weak authentic, it is semi-authentic, and it's strong authentic. So you collect weak authentic data from non-specialized ESP teachers, okay, and this is highly simplified, easy to fit directly with syllabus speed, often underrepresented in real world linguistic variations. Okay, so this is not a very representative kind of a data, right? Semi um, authentic is, you have a balanced target language patterns, and then uh, it can feel synthetic or dry if oversimplified. Synthetic is the opposite of authentic. Okay, synthetic is created, man-made. Okay, so um, when we say that we are customizing or we are creating a material, we are actually trying to develop authentic material or material from authentic sources. Okay, not from the synthetic sources. What we are going to do is what is really preferred here is getting the data, that getting the authentic data from target community members. Okay, now this target community members are can be your students, right? For instance, if you're developing ESP syllabus for the doctors, target community would be the medical students. Okay, and then this is the realistic representation of workplace terminologies and the genres, and this is highly demanding. This can be risk demotivating the beginner students because that might be a little boring. But if it is authentic material taken from real people from their actual workplaces, so it would definitely meet your goals as ESP teachers. Okay. Now, what I have covered in this lecture is from page number 106 to page number, I guess, we are done with this, to page number 120. Okay, we have completed it through this presentation. What I would like you to do now is to read these 7 pages and complete the chapter number 6. uh, Chapter number 6 is completed by my lecture, but I would like you to read this once. Okay, now um, just having a recap of what we did today, we actually learned how to customize the material because through arguments, we have already come to the point that customizing material is the best way of material development in ESP rather than adopting or adapting the material. So, when we have decided that customizing material is the best thing to meet the objectives that we have already developed for any of the ESP classes, so we need to follow certain steps. And these steps can be of two kinds. One, when you have a lot of time to do certain kind of research to develop or customize the material, or when it is just uh, time creating the material when you do not have time, so we just reduce the steps, right? When we say that we have just in time creation. So there are two kinds of creations or as far as customizing material is concerned. One is of 5 steps and the other is 3 steps when it is just in time creation. And the other thing that we discussed today is we can make use of technology while we are analyzing the data. And this data, what data we are referring to? We are referring to the already existing samples. But we can collect the samples if we have time, and then we can analyze the data through using the softwares and through using the technology. Okay, so this is what we have done in today's class, but what I would like you to do it before we begin with chapter number 7 is to go through these 7 pages uh, through which we are completing this chapter, second last chapter of our syllabus. Okay, so just hold on. Okay, so I'm stopping the recording here. I'll try to upload this session on my channel. I'll send the links to the CR